because reality can be whatever I want.
Easy there, Jeremy.
Oi!
The Dark Lord.
So, what the fuck were we doing? We've been gone for
I was
ages.
trying to convince a group of
That's
nobodies
what's
to
happening?
become
Okay.
Samurai.
Alright.
I did a thing and then rolled a persuasion.
You rolled a 20. So... They're clearly interested. One is kind of playing with a dice between their fingers. A noticeably fairly bloody dice. They don't actually reply, which is probably a good thing. Because they're clearly they're clearly mulling over the idea in their minds.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna take a second and look at all of them and then just say... What I'm offering you specifically, it's not so much a job as it is the means to elevate yourself from nothing into something. What I'm offering you is a chance to learn skills that will help you achieve whatever it is you set out to do. And all I ask for in return is loyalty. It's not such a bad deal. I'll allow you to think it over. Should you decide that you wish to become something of worth, find yourself at the House of Dusk, and we will see if you are worthy. And I'll just peace out.
Give me a persuasion roll first, boss. Okay,
That's still not bad.
that's still all right.
I literally watched that movie last night. Jurassic Park.
I don't think I've ever watched the original Jurassic Park all the way through. Which is kind of a disappointment that I
It
haven't
holds
done.
up.
You know, I hear that. You know what doesn't really hold up? Jurassic World.
Correct.
Like the movie that came out like
But there's
last...
one scene where they're running away from the dinosaurs, and one guy steals two mimosas from a table and downs them as he's running, and that is great. And that does turn the movie around to like a positive score in my mind.
Speaking of roll for initiative.
All right.
I just want to know how much they pay in insurance to keep that park running
It's gotta be so much.
after all of these infractions.
I'm pretty sure that even comes up in like the weird Jurassic Park official game.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Pretty
Which
sure it
came
does,
out
yeah.
slightly too late to be a cash-in.
Yes.
It was
You
like
ever played the
awkwardly
Jurassic Park?
between the movies.
Have you ever played the Jurassic Park RTS?
No. Have you ever
That
played
sounds-
Impossible Creatures?
No.
It's an RTS where you splice animals' genes together to make super creatures.
That sounds very cool.
Oh, that sounds...
You
I
might
think I have.
recognize the cover of the game from your local game store, as I'm fairly sure it's a scorpion tiger or something of the same
Yes,
ilk.
I'm pretty sure I have played that.
I've played Spore.
My God, I recognize.
I
that
thought about
cover.
Spore yesterday. My father was playing a word game, and the answer was Spore, and I was like, "Ha! What an experience!"
What an almost.
I still sometimes play
Almost.
Spore. It's
I
like,
enjoyed...
yeah,
There are parts of that game I really enjoyed, and then other parts annoyed me that they were so bad.
I'm gonna go collect that petition now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do so.
Yes.
There's, you know, no real problem. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And you
Yeah,
can
Rackath
leave
becomes Winston Churchill
boss.
later in life.
Oh, I'm aware. Whenever I do Rackath, it's always several degrees separated from Winston Churchill. And then I had Man Victus on Maggie's show, which was Rackath plus Winston Churchill plus robot.
So here's the thing. Rackath's voice is actually 3 separate voices put together, and one of them is Winston Churchill.
Yes.
The other 2 are Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob and Frank Underwood from House of Cards.
Oh!
Yeah, if you're ever wondering what I'm doing when I'm doing Rackath's voice, those are the 3
Clear.
voices that I'm putting together and then putting a rasp on them.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for an insight into your process. in this, my stream.
In this, your time of need.
Yeah. The day of my daughter's wedding. So, you head out, you got your petition, you can head back home, you can do your thing. I'm being attacked by moths today,
Yeah.
as is often the case. But there's one today who's particularly precocious.
Let's go pick a fight.
For what purpose?
Fun.
With whom?
A moth. I don't know why, I just have this urge to kill moths. No, in all seriousness, I'm just feeling we should spar.
Sure. I have a place specifically meant for that exact
Yes, you
thing.
do. Okay,
Shall we?
Swoosh!
Whoosh. Star wipe.
Bum! Yeah.
Let's get Yuna and Rofi first.
Ooh! Sure.
Ooh.
You can drag them away from what they're doing, take them to the House of Dusk.
Having a date with Nero. It's like, oh, sorry, I gotta go.
Bring him! Bring him! It will be fun!
I'll literally just like burst through the door and just hold out my hand.
We must leave!
And be like, Lady Univara.
There's a mwah mwah, and Nero looks into the camera.
It's a living.
Alright,
Well,
we'll put
this-
aside our crafting shenanigans.
Yes.
Nero's here too. I thought you'd be
Okay.
busy doing something useful. Anyways.
Wow.
I will go get Rofi.
Yeah.
Rofi,
Pick him up.
come along. And I will pick Rofi up and bring him with me.
Okay.
Actually, I will say this before we leave. Actually, I will, while I'm gathering Univara from her room, I will take out that bottle of wine that I bought and give it to Univara. Be like, I got us a gift. Perhaps we can share this later.
That's so nice.
From the surface, I have no idea what it tastes like, but certainly it's something we have neither tasted before.
I'm gonna give
Free
him a hug.
Nero.
And a kiss on the cheek. That's so sweet.
Nero looks
Really?
at the camera.
And Voss will absolutely reciprocate,
Yeah,
but you get the feeling that he actually means it this time.
Oh, nice. Very good. What are we doing right now?
I don't know. Rat asked that I collect you, and he went to get Rofi.
Okay. Oh, well, cool. Let's,
Stoop's cool.
let's go see what Rack has.
This place is very cool.
Murphy's on the ladder.
That kills me. Just the context of these fantasy characters just saying something is cool. I don't know why I find that so funny.
It's your fault, you douchebag.
Very cool.
I like this place. It's very cool.
This is the most off the rails we've ever been.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, the most off the rails you've ever been so far.
So far.
You can head to the House of Dusk, which is, nice, picturesque. It really is where you want your samurai hideout to be. It's in the herbalism district, so all the areas nearby are overflowing with plant life. You got your butterflies of titanic size. That's a real pest problem you got in the Underdark sometimes. You can hang out, be cool dudes.
As one does.
As one does.
As one
It's
would
a
want to
living.
do.
Rack, what are we doing?
Well,
Day, not in general. Because I know you can't answer that question.
what's happening with Rofi? Hold on.
No. Sorry. Rofi's token may have just vanished from the
Oh,
face of the
Did
I
you
understand.
delete your token again?
Okay. To answer your question,
Yes.
we're doing a couple of things. One, we haven't done anything as a group recently, and honestly, I just miss you guys.
Oh, I miss you too.
Secondly, I think, first of all, Voss and I should do some sparring because we've been meaning to for a while, and he's supposed to be teaching me, and I think he's really been neglecting his duties in that. So, realistically, we should work on that. Right, Voss? Rakat gives you a wink, by the way, Voss, when he says that.
Recently, priorities have shifted.
Precisely. Now, Rofi, as well, I do need you off the ladder. Off the ladder.
Okay.
Thank you.
The ladder on his back. When you said I'll go up the ladder, you mean that ladder.
Yes,
This ladder, the one that I always have on my back.
I could really see the idea of like Rakath running into battle, Rofi just hanging on with the gun in the hand, just.
It would be the logical Underdark, you know, the Underdark version of the halfling on the Goliath's back meme. You know.
Rakath is the elephant from Lord of the Rings. That's all there is to it. It's okay. He's just as lumpy.
Still only counts as one.
It does only count as one.
He's just
But-
as zombie.
Also, this is a good opportunity for us to continue to discuss what we're actually doing because we have actions to take. But in the meantime, Voss, do you have training weapons?
Yes. Many
Good.
of them, in fact.
Excellent. I would like to use a training parrying dagger and a training short sword, please.
Oh, I have a meeting with Olivaris in like a few days to discuss the formation of guilds.
Oh, that's very exciting.
We can talk about
Rakath
this.
is going to hand Yuna the petition. This is the interest list. It's very long.
Is it long?
Like I said before, it's a page and a half. One double-sided page and another page. So 3 pages.
And to be a little douchey, but I'm not going to say out loud that I'm doing it, I'm just going to take notes to how many drow names are on here
Yeah.
as compared to other races. Just because
Like a
that
quarter?
maybe matter in the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, like a quarter.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
This is good.
Wow, Rakath, good for you. That's just great.
I figured you'd need that information before you go and have that meeting.
Yes. Will you all be coming with me?
I think they'll kill me if I go up there again.
I will come with you,
Thank you.
of course.
Also, do you know if my brother has arrived at your place yet?
I haven't heard anything, really.
Well, that's not concerning at all.
It's possible he is carrion, but it is more likely that he has arrived and they are merely enraptured with his personality.
I'll jump on the same
Holy-
train tomorrow morning.
That would be wise.
Boss,
Yes!
Yeah, go hit each other.
shall we dance?
Whatever you do.
I'll just motion to the training weapons, which are on the opposite side of the courtyard on like a rack.
I'm gonna go take a training parrying dagger and a training short sword.
Which in the Underdark means they're slightly not as sharp as usual.
Yes.
Rofi, want to make a bet?
Ooh. I have no money.
That's okay.
I'm not allowed to own things.
We can bet your soul.
Or if he
I'm
takes a
joking.
step back.
You should
I
bet
bet Ra-
time on making things. You both like making.
We should
I bet
time
Raka.
on the dagger. You vote
You
Raka?
can't bet me. I'm not yours to bet.
No, on.
You bet on Raka? Okay, I'll bet on Vossen to make it interesting. And we will bet
To
12
make it
hours.
interesting. That means she wasn't gonna bet on Boss in the first place. That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Boss is going to win.
So,
And
You know,
I
you
promise
s-
I won't cheat.
you step in your little training courtyard,
Oh.
which, in my mind, is a circular courtyard, which, funnily enough, has one section that's just a drop-off to deeper parts of the city.
Not dangerous at all.
Not. I mean, it's very common in this city, and you know, there's a little bit of a ledge, a little bit of a lip, but not much. Just so you know.
This is Sparta!
Please roll initiative for your spa.
This is a spa!
I don't want to like that,
That's a
but I
good
did.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna one hit me, and this is gonna be that.
Alrighty! In one corner. I can't even see the things. What a surprise! Voss gets to start first.
Huge surprise.
Go.
That is actually a surprise.
I do have a higher initiative, but that's initiative modifier.
All right. I guess we're just doing non-lethal combat now, eh?
Yes.
Pretty much. That's how we usually do a spa, is non-lethal combat to yield done.
He's just gonna
Unconscious.
one hit me. He's just gonna bop me in the head. I'm gonna go unconscious.
I don't want to do that is the thing, because the entire point is for you to learn.
Yeah.
I'll just make a use of my good old fighting spirit and just attack once with the Nodachi
Okie dokes.
Okey-doke.
at advantage. Obviously non-lethal. Okay.
That'll hit.
That's 20 slashing damage.
Good.
My turn.
I end my turn.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Great weapon master. It's a real bitch. All right. Well, I'm gonna swing at you with the Wakizashi first,
Yep.
just normally. It'll miss.
Oh no.
And then with the offhand parrying dagger. Oh, sure. That one.
Oh, that's a hit.
This is a recurring thing. Whenever anyone has an offhand, the offhand hits.
Yep. Yep. That's,
Do you get sneak attack?
No. I have no reason to get sneak attack at this point because there's no other threats to him.
I don't know how sneak attack works.
Basically, if I'm in melee, yeah, there it is. Or
I'm
if
a
you have
dungeon master.
Liam, I mean, what the? Liam, I don't know why I said Liam. Neil ruined sneak attack for you.
Yes.
He's got.
Yeah, like guaranteed. Like I've just
Yeah.
don't know how rogues work anymore, despite playing rogues quite a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
I'll
top of the
focus
initiative.
on
Rakath,
that, I guess.
hit hard.
I'm just gonna die in a moment here. That'll hit. I'm
Oh,
down.
Bye bye.
I'm down. It doesn't matter how much damage you do. I'm
Aw.
down.
Does
I was
Rakath
gonna
yield or
whisper
just
to
get knocked
Ropey.
the fuck out?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
don't-
he gets knocked
I
the
don't think
fuck
my
out.
cheating would have helped.
I was gonna
Dom.
whisper to Ropey, like, if you want to cheat though, we can play that game instead.
No, Rakath just goes unconscious.
Rofi's doing the cheat. Yeah. Oh.
I'll just, as he goes down, bow.
The thing is, as Rakath is falling, he's bowing, and then he falls. Just thunk.
So Ropey, next time we can switch and we'll both cheat, because that'll make it more fun.
Do you want to have another
I like
one
this idea.
after Rakath wakes up?
Well, that's up to Rakath and Voss.
That's up to Rakath.
Rakath's fine with it.
Rakath
This
is
is-
I'll give him a
currently-
potion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you give him a potion. You know, you're just sparring. That just brings him back up to full. You can have another.
Couple.
You can have another spar after, a bit of a break.
Oh yeah.
See,
I have an idea
that's
what I'm
what I
gonna
mean
do.
by you've been neglecting training me, Voss.
This is true.
Every time you beat me like this, you know you've been not doing what you should do and training me. This is your fault.
Trust me,
So-
Kat, this hurts me much more than it hurts you.
I believe you. This does not hurt me.
You're switching who you're betting on and cheating?
Yes.
Okay. Roll initiative. All 4 of you, I think.
All of us.
Perhaps.
17 this time. Of course, you just roll a fucking 19.
And you're never gonna roll good initiative during an actual combat.
Never.
No.
Alright. Yuna's,
Literally everyone rolled a better initiative than me.
That's actually bad.
Yeah, you
For
want to
me,
do anything,
for my
Yuna,
plan?
before the fight starts?
I'm trying to think of what I can do that will be subtle enough.
Spying on the spell list.
Subtle.
Yeah.
My cheating ain't gonna be subtle.
I don't think you need to worry about subtlety. This is literally just a
He's
2v.
gonna pull a gun and
I will invest your
Rakath.
shield onto Rakath, but he has to choose to cast it, is the problem. Right?
You do
Why?
a little eye on one of his central lumps.
I'm just gonna give him a hug. I'm not doing it as a ritual, so
Ah,
I don't have to do the whole thing.
sure. Okay.
I'm just gonna spend spell slots.
After that is old Voss.
Can I roll an insight check to see if I notice that Yuna has
Yeah.
done it?
Yeah. Do you want me to roll a
I
deception?
roll an insight
Yes.
check to see if I know Yuna has done this?
Yo, you do.
Okay. Because
Oh, that's an
Rakath
insight.
might
Maybe
just
that's not what
think
I want to
you need a
roll.
hug.
No.
Deception.
Yeah.
7. You see. I'm not gonna be super subtle about it. I'm gonna smile and wave.
And then like hop off the battle.
I just look to Yuna. I don't display any emotion, but you know that I know.
Yeah.
And then on my turn, I will use Fighting Spirit.
Surprise.
for
Surprise,
6
surprise.
Hit points. And attack with the old Nasky Poo.
Uh-huh.
Great weapon. You know the drill.
I do.
It's an
That
11.
misses.
And then I'm gonna action surge and do it again!
That'll hit.
Great.
Just barely, but it does hit. I'm unconscious. I don't know
I
why.
don't know why that rolled twice.
On the
No, you're
first
not
one, I'm not unconscious.
You're not
You're not
unconscious. It does the
This is
first
the
one.
first
You're
one.
alive,
I wish I could give you advantage.
which means next is going to be Rofi's turn.
He's just gonna shoot me, is the thing.
No.
Oh, you won the duel, Voss! Wow!
Amazing!
Rofi is gonna hold his action till after Rakath's move.
That
And he's
is
holding a
not
spell.
allowed. Okay.
Holding a
you
spell.
For the sake of the spa, I will allow you to be vague like that. Usually,
I mean,
not.
it's very obvious what I'm going to choose. I think.
That's still not how it works, but I will allow it.
Okay.
So, as you hit me, Voss, with that, you smack into my shoulder and it like gets caught in my lump a little bit. And I just look at you.
Oh, the old evil eye.
Ye old evil eye.
You old evil eye!
Wisdom-
Go around, children, to the legend of Rakath the Evil Eye.
You need to make a 12. It's real easy.
That's not.
Whoops!
Whoopsies! So you're frightened of me now.
That's
Why don't you
true.
describe what he sees?
Well, the lumps don't look like lumps anymore. They look like shadows coalescing around my form, which looks more skeletal than what you would expect now that you're looking at me. You look at me and you see, sure, the flesh, but it's almost like it's melted away to just a visage of pure, frightening skeletal horror with an eye that seems to pierce through you.
Very cool. Copy.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to use the dodge action with my Oh, pardon me. Disengage action is what I was looking for. To step away and step back. And then I'm going to use my movement to move as far away from Voss as possible.
Slightly out of arm's reach.
Uh-huh.
Damn it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I
Well.
trust that. Does that mean your spell does not take effect, Rofi?
Well, no, it's still gonna happen. It's just not gonna be as effective as I wanted. Just under Raka.
Okay. Dex save,
That's
Raka.
obvious.
Oh, I said it wasn't gonna be subtle.
Yeah. Whoa! And I just look at you, Rofi, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what on earth was that for?
So rude.
Which
This is a duel.
Yeah,
and
Rofi,
which
gosh.
Now it's Yuna's turn.
Be so immature.
We're just going to... What is this? Why am I being teamed up on?
Gosh, how do I
Turn
grant
the tables.
advantage? No. How do I grant advantage so that Rakath gets sneak attack damage?
You get behind Voss.
Yeah, I'm gonna just get behind Voss and I'm just gonna ask
Oh,
questions
no.
like, oh,
Does
like, what are
that
you
work,
doing?
though? Because I don't consider you a combatant.
If she's being distracting enough, I will allow it.
What are you guys doing? What's this dance called? What's that weapon? What's that over there? Who are those people outside?
Next
the horror.
is Voss.
I feel like it should be a concentration check.
All right.
You are frightened of me right
I'm
now.
gonna use
Not-
not that. Whoops. I'm gonna use my thing.
I'm gonna need
Fighting
another
spirit,
coffee.
which means it just balances out, so I just attack at normal.
But I'm not in your reach right now.
You are in
Yeah.
my reach of the Yumi.
I am. That fucking hits.
You have shield.
Which is 2!
I'm still up.
Which is only
Oh.
2.
He's playing too good to use syndrome.
No, I'm literally just, this is a duel. I'm being on. Rakath wouldn't fucking use it.
Ah,
It's an honor thing. He's
Rakath's
trying to be
now.
honor.
a boring boy. Who isn't is Rofi.
Also, I was on the ground. Does that matter for? I mean, doesn't it?
Eh,
doesn't-
technically
that's
yes,
just
but
a
who
bit
gives a shit at this point? Not me, not the dungeon master.
No.
Oof.
This is where Rofi just shoots me. And
No, I figured out what I'm gonna do.
You don't
I have to
understand the
get
game.
Okay. I have to get the right. So, yes. This one.
Yeah.
And
Oh! So you know what the funny thing is about that?
he like loads like a little gas thing.
Oh
and-
no. Yeah, Rakath absolutely falls asleep. If Yuna wasn't a drow, she would also fall asleep. Was the funny thing about that. I was about to say, oh, she was, but technically he doesn't fall asleep.
Bro,
So
we're
Arrow
not supposed to get caught cheating.
What? What?
We're not supposed to get caught cheating.
Well, I thought you were being obvious. I thought we were being obvious.
No!
I knew you were cheating from the moment we started.
Yeah, but not like that.
I'm gonna go over and just like give Rakath the action to wake up, like give him a shake. So like, Rakath, get up. The duel is
not a duel, apparently.
apparently not.
I don't understand.
Yeah, Brophy, gosh.
What? Hey, you cheated first.
Voss, I shouldn't have invited them. I'm so sorry.
This is how we learn.
And with that, we can do a little wipe. So you
Yeah,
don't
wasn't
spend all
combat.
day memeing away. Yeah. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before that meeting in, a couple of days? Or you just kind of
I
chilling?
do
doing
legitimately want to have a date with Nero so we can discuss things.
I was literally just about to say train at the House of Dusk and just generally be mean to Nero whenever I see him. What are my two things I was going to say? But not mean in like a way where I'm like talking shit to him, mean in a way where it's like, oh, you're here? Didn't even notice you. Wow. You just have such a way of blending in with the walls.
Wow.
I mean, I'm gonna just like hang out. I don't really have anything going on right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can take a couple of days off,
Yeah. I mean, I apparently need to reevaluate my friendship with Rofi. So
He just coated you in a sticky substance and made you fall asleep. What's weird about that?
Hey, when given the option on who to bet on, he chose you.
that was incorrect.
Yes, but he still did it.
That was his own fault. I'm gonna feed Reginald.
Okay, that does not need to be disclosed. But thank you.
You're welcome. I just wanted to note it in case you were keeping track of how often he's being fed. It is
We don't want our fish to die.
exactly.
Correct amount.
It's the correct amount of feeding for a
I'm
fish.
just picturing a scenario in which the goldfish dies and
He's a
Voss and Rakath
He's a
have to, like,
koi.
the koi.
run in town and get a replacement before Yuna notices. They're like, no, he's always had that little orange spot. What do you mean?
There is no fish quite like Reginald. In fact, in the moment where no doubt Voss has been shown Reginald, I imagine Voss would be a little bit troubled by the fish that constantly stares at people. Usually Rakath, but when Voss comes down, the fish just angles slightly in its tank. It just stares.
I'm just gonna nod at the fish, and I will say to Voss, I'm teaching him how to read minds.
I mean, why wouldn't you be doing that?
I think he has a knack for it.
It's quite unsettling.
You know, I've seen my fair share of horrors on the battlefield. But that fish, I don't like the way it fucking looks at me. I'm just gonna turn around and leave the room.
Rakath is going to look at Yuna shocked.
Reginald bumps into the glass slightly and then...
That is the most emotion I have ever seen out of Voss. You're a good fish, Reginald.
Give him a little extra food.
That is incorrect.
You're a good void monster, Reginald.
Little chaotic, evil koi fish. If he could,
He could, he would murder us all.
He's seen too much. It's up to you, Aaron, if you want to, role play the chat between you and Nero, or just kind of,
Yeah. So essentially, what I wanted to say to him was, well, let me think.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have this conversation, but I'm gonna have to.
Oh, you could keep putting it off if you want.
I could keep putting it off.
I will allow it.
Elves.
Yeah.
No. Essentially, it's gonna be that I've always wanted multiple loves in my life, and that's my choice, and it's never gonna change. But also, I recognize that he doesn't have a choice in any of this because of his station.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give him choices, right? Obviously, I want him to stay here by my side. But if he wants to go after he gets free status, he's free to do that. If he wants to go immediately, I don't like the idea, but we can set him up with the slave army, or working with Abanir. And I'm just gonna present like these options to him, essentially.
Okay.
Being like, I really don't want you to choose these things, but like, what do you want?
In the end, Nero is pretty happy to stay.
Okay, good.
You know, it's he's probably being a little more dramatic about it than necessary. But that's his right to be a drama
Use my
queen.
18 portents on my
Yeah,
persuasion check.
exactly right. I was gonna say Rowan, but it doesn't really matter. But you know, he says, you know, give me a little time. In all honesty,
Yeah,
but
of
he would
course.
like to keep staying around and hopefully not do
Good,
Jericho's
good.
job all the time. But he would like to stay around, you know, as kind of master of the house.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good means to an end for you, if nothing else.
Awesome.
And then we will have like a very nice date and dinner.
And
that
you'll have a
follows.
nice little date and a little bit of smooching, a little bit of cuddling, and all is well.
Good.
Now let's do some politics. Swoosh 3 days forward. That's for you guys counting your crafting time. Yuna has a meeting in the High City with Ulvarius. Who are you taking with you?
I think just Voss, if nobody else wants to come.
I probably should.
Becca.
I'm going to die up there, but I probably
you
should.
weren't bothered really last time because you have your outfit.
Yes. I am going... I just have this weird feeling that I'm going to die up there.
Voss,
Probably
nobody else-
someday, but not today.
Maybe like 96 days from now.
That's such a specific number.
I don't know why, just a weird feeling. Anyways,
Uh.
So Becca, I will do this on your behalf, but also, I don't feel like anybody can fight as well for these people quite as well as you can. And also, let me roll my portents for the day before I say anything else.
Okay. Okay, I think we can do this. I'm motivated.
Okay, good. Rofi, do you want to come?
Okay.
Okay. We're all gonna go together.
This is where we find out that we're gonna fight a big old monster in high district.
No monster, just an old lady. Oh wait.
Oh wait.
So you go on a little journey. You go to a little journey to the little teleportation temple, which on its own is a lovely walk. You go through lovely areas of the city on the way to, you know, that part of town. Well, there's been a little bit of tension in Narashiro right now, in a very drow way. There's no tension among the nobility. It's fine. That's problems for other people. Everything's fine here, or else.
Do they actually think that?
There's a little bit of worry, but you know, it's the culture is such that we don't need to worry. Everything's going to be taken care of. But there's a lot of worry around the execution of a very, very important drow figure by otherworldly entities, essentially. But you don't have as much of that as you would in other parts if you went on a walk in another part of the city. You go to the little teleportation temple. You say, "Oh, I'm expected." Da, 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 da. You do the whole thing. Give them a little tip or whatever, and you step on a teleportation circle where one of the palace magicians activates it, and you're translocated up into the high city of Narashiro, the part of the city that is built onto the roof of the cavern. Unlike Narashiro proper, a lot of the place up here has glass hallways. You know, you walk out into a glass hallway where you can see the city around you. You can see the roof of the cavern. You can see the Aether Crystal Light. You can see the city below you. And a lot of it is designed so that you can see a lot of the rest of it while you're up there. It's a genuinely impressive place, and the hallways open up into grand gardens that have areas separated out into other rooms, into little seating areas, into little waterfall, in homemade waterfalls and things like this. It's all meant to be a place where nobles can talk and interact quite easily. The music I'm playing is a little too evil. Let me tone down the evil scale a little bit.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, a little bit. But you aren't having a talk in the gardens like you did with Captain Kato, which means you have to walk through the gardens. And everyone's here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's Smash Bros.
I will ask Rofi to hold Abigail for me.
Okay.
So I feel like that is more socially acceptable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing about Abigail.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Acceptable.
You go through these decadent noble hallways where there are a lot of people mostly dressed in ivory white or the kind of stone blue, having important conversations about things in hushed tones. Eventually you get to where essentially offices are. And you can kind of tell that they're like offices and homes, and kind of branch out in some areas. You go through an area, it's basically a garden with a bunch of wooden chairs, to the office of Olverius, where, as you approach, straight up a samurai at the door. The only real thing of note is that this samurai, she's not wearing a mask, which is, semi-common. It's uncommon. And there's feathers kept in the metal helmet that most samurai wear, which is a little uncommon. When you come inside, you realize why, because Olverius is wearing a very similar helmet with feathers in it, despite not being a samurai herself. First, a little bit about the office. It's pretty much a grand library. It's just one chamber, but the library bookcases kind of go up 3 stories and have little walkways and things, and little places to sit and think, and pieces of artwork that are quite impressive. The area behind the desk is a big window that actually looks further towards the center of the High Palace, where you can see this big central area that kind of has a soft glow coming from the glass winds area inside. And there's a big desk in pretty common Narashiro fashion. There's not really chairs. You usually kneel or sit or stand. And Olverius is a fairly old drow woman. She doesn't appear to be faded in any way, but she does have those signs of age, deep lines across her face in certain places. But her eyes are still incredibly sharp. As I said, like a samurai usually wear quite a wide-brimmed metal helmet. She's wearing something very similar, seems to be a bit lighter, feathers in it, and such things. Her clothing is a little bit armored. It's kind of like a breastplate with robes that go over and under and things like that. She's dressed to the nines, as you would expect someone around here is. You could sell Rakath for less than what one earring costs. And Rakath would be quite valuable. At least as meats. Alright. There are 2 samurai also in this room. But the
Look,
one from the
if we're selling
door...
Rakath to anyone, it's going to be the woman who wants his blood. in
Yes.
exchange for magic.
I was actually thinking that, yeah, she would probably buy him. When you enter, she kind of stands from the kneeling position she was in, and clasps thin fingers before her lips in a smile. Her face is quite painted, which is quite common of high nobles. And she doesn't bow or anything. She just kind of does this, wide smile. Excuse me, don't insult my speech impediment.
It was just my favorite thing you've said all night. I'm sorry, I had to add it.
That's the name of my next D&D character.
Thin fingers.
Spin fingers.
Yeah.
He's a rogue. Does
Yeah.
sleight of hand. Continue.
She doesn't say anything and kind of waits for you to come in while the samurai at the door enters behind you and then ultimately goes to stand kind of behind her, behind and beside, by the window.
I will give a deep bow.
Akath will also bow quite deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just introduce myself. I am Univar de Vestos, and it's a pleasure to meet you. Can I make you some tea? And it's kind of like a respectful thing, even though like this is her home. Like I'm offering to.
Yeah. She will nod and kind of motion for you to do so.
I'll do that. And as I'm brewing the tea, I will kind of infuse like some like healing elixir into it, some blue lady leaves, like to make it really nice. And also casting some motion while I'm already casting all these spells.
She seems entirely and completely calm.
Mm-hmm.
The samurai also feel entirely and completely calm.
Not a threat.
I hate that.
She kind of watches this, and you see her eyes kind of move and look over all four of you. I must say, it's a strange gaggle of individuals that you've led into my office. But
Yes.
I was informed that is the motivation of such of what you're trying to do, is not?
Yes. Well, I mean, a good part of it. And I'll introduce him. And this is my friend Raka. He works with my family, and he has a good deal of connections within the businesses we'll be speaking of today. This is Rovi. I don't say anything after that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say. And this is Vaus of House Nor, and he is interested in opening up a school within Narashiro. His family's estate is quite removed from the city.
Well, that is a different question altogether, which may be saved for a later date. This meeting is on the creation of a guild of... Looks at paperwork on the table, little set of glasses. Black marked professions. Forgive me, I have spent my entire life among the starlight. Do inform to me what this phrasing means exactly.
Specifically, black marked trades are those that are deemed to be, as it were, marked and lesser than other trades. They are subservient trades in many ways, though some of them are not, or should not be. The intention with this particular action of forming a guild is to bring these trades into a more regulated and cleaner method of delivery. Though right now they are essentially removed from society, that has removed them from regulation as well.
Interesting. I see you have brought papers, please. No.
No,
she
hands
will.
been stacked very nicely.
Yeah, she will glance at them and then just wave a hand over them. Her eyes ever so slightly glowing behind the glasses.
Let's learn that.
It is an interesting collection of trades you are intending to bind together under one guild. Into one profession, in a sort. At least that would be how it would look to the rest of the city. I will admit that there may be some grand purpose to what you are trying to do, but you are trying to make a guild of vagabonds and thieves and killers even for the good of the state, it will not go well. And you understand that the Daimao approving of any such thing, even through me, may be disagreeable in such tumultuous political times.
That is precisely why it is needed. These tumultuous political times are exactly why you need to bind the lower classes. If you don't, there is a very large likelihood that they break away and attempt to attack like that slave army did in the factory district not long ago. This is precisely the time to unify the city. The perception would need to be presented as such, that this is an opportunity for unification. If you are concerned about the marketing aspect of it, I understand. There is, after all, a black mark on these trades for a reason. But bringing them under the regulation of the Daimao is exactly what this city needs. And besides, they are a perfect source for information for the city as well, which is my role.
You can give me a persuasion roll.
Kath rolls an 18.
Unless... she smiles more at that point. I was like, yes. Your ally, the good Captain Cato, did talk to me about this, and this is the crunch of it. The potential of information that flows through your profession is quite alluring to us, as well as bringing some control to areas of the city that may be lacking in such, especially now, and may even bring together, be the first step in many more steps might be necessary in the future, but... Well, it might not be proper to say this, but the four of you have quite a mark against you even here. They're not quite a dark mark. I hope you understand. Words do travel even up here. And I will put it quite simply. The Daimao has usage for you. And if you are willing to complete a task that is quite suited to your specialties, then we will be able to make sure that the creation of your guild is swift, and that currency can allow for the formation or the property that you might need to start with.
I suppose that depends on the task. We are diplomats, after all.
Rakath says with a very cheeky grin.
Yes, one diplomat with an excellent skill at causing pain and allowing those whose lips are sewn quite tightly shut to open them. One who studies forbidden magics of the soul. One who is marked against the Church of Ivrith and has a bloodline of questionable past. And a fae. We will overlook these things and allow one such as you, if it would be to your suiting, to head this guild. I understand you may want to allow this to another position, but there is a relic that goes by the name of the Black Aether. A archaeologist went missing, attempting to collect it. By all accounts, they collected it quite appropriately. And their last known location is an inn outside of the city, towards the south. It may be as simple as collecting such a thing, although your knowledge of aether crystals and the soul will no doubt be useful in
Why the
safe
soul?
movement.
You say our expertise in the aether crystal. Absolutely, that makes sense. The soul. What exactly does the black aether crystal have to do with a soul?
Can you give me a persuasion roll, please?
Sure.
I will give you the option. You can take the 14 if you want to.
If I take
Or
the
you can
14,
try to
it'll
go
be an
for
8
higher.
total.
It's up to you. I just want to give you the option.
Do you want to roll the dice?
No, I'm happy to take the 18. Honestly,
It's a great roll.
that's a
She,
great roll. That's fine.
Yeah.
She purses her lips.
Thank you.
Although, of course, you understand that before leaving this place, you will be signing a contract that means the Black Aether will be handed to the Daimau's personal retinue, and no information of this item's existence will be sent to anyone else.
Precisely. A non-disclosure agreement as per usual. The standard agreement, I understand. And that is why I asked, because I knew that was coming.
The Black Aether. We do not know exactly of its creation, but it is linked to the realm of death.
Ooh. Sorry.
Daimao wants to research it personally.
That's very exciting. I suppose that has to do with the explosive properties of the Aether Crystal in the first place. Joining that with the realm of death, I suspect is a...
The volatile properties of Aether Crystal are unconfirmed.
Oh no. I can assure you they are very
They are officially unconfirmed.
We are under a non-disclosure agreement in this room, are we not? This conversation never
I
happened.
understand that you have actually have a agreement already to experiment with the Aether, which is why you are perfect to collect such an item.
Rakath bows his head and stands up far straighter than he was before, because he was hunched over and very much looking subservient before. Now he stands up and he is looking much less so and slightly more intimidating than normal. He's kind of got his back up a little bit about this, but he's deferring to Yuna and looking to her now. So
I'm curious because it will help me. Have any of you seen this crystal in person, or is this just some information you've gathered?
The archaeologist named Mikumo knew of its place and had done previous research of it. It was taken from somewhere. In all honesty, I do not know where. All I know is that she was meant to return with it. She sent a message from this fair travels inn to the south, but has never entered the city.
I'll kind of look back at Voss. And it's like, I do feel terrible that my friend here simply isn't getting anything out of this arrangement. Perhaps we could finalize a meeting where we can discuss what he wants out of this.
He will get what he wants. He is getting his guild. And the chance as a non-drow to lead that guild.
I pointed to Voss. And I looked at him
Ah.
and said that.
Is it of any concern what he gets from it? He is your samurai.
It matters
If
to
you
me.
are in the topic of making a meeting about this school, this House of Dusk,
based on the topic of mating.
then we'll have to pencil it in for a later date after you have returned with the Black Aether. There will have to be discussions with the church. But as you understand, the church currently is missing a high priestess. So that may take longer than I can organize myself.
It's a pity you didn't have samurai trained in a school well enough to defend our priestess.
I will allow that minor heresy this once. Do we have an agreement?
Can we see the contract?
She will pull out a contract that seems to be writing itself on the page as she's kind of unfolding the page. which is basically a non-disclosure agreement, plus you will return the Black Aether.
Is there a
via-
timetable listed? The time that we have
It's kind of a...
It's an ASAP.
It's an ASAP, plus there's a bit of a clause where if they deem you to be inappropriately loitering, is probably the drow way of putting it, you will also be punishable. Yeah.
Is it
Especially...
magically binding?
Oh... It
Is it a geese?
it definitely seems that, this is,
I way to pull any shenanigans.
this isn't a contract from the gnomes. This is very much a contract from the High City, which is interwoven with the church and things like that. So I mean, it does mention potentially the pain of your soul, and
It's already
things
fucked
like
up.
yeah, exactly. The main thing is you are to be executed by any means necessary if you breach any part of this contract.
So the wording is we bring back the crystal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to know.
Good to know.
There would be, a little bit of a clause where if anything out there has
What happens
any
if the crystal is
information,
damaged?
it doesn't mention that. It does mention if there's any, in whatever state you find it, gives you any information, they would appreciate the information being given. There's actually a character reference from Captain Cato there that, if not, this research would be well used in your hands, which is probably one of the reasons why you get this job.
That's nice of her.
I'm also going to be reviewing the contract as well, but I'm going to be studying the magical handwriting and comparing it with any other writing I can see on the desk.
Yeah, you can get a pretty good tell of her handwriting from it.
Cool. Good. I'm sure Rofi's doing the same from the ladder on my back. With Abigail.
I mostly just want to be able to take a piece of this crystal and not be in violation. of the
That
contract.
would seem incredibly heretical and illegal.
But how? Heretical.
You would be branded a heretic if you breached this
I'm
contract.
giving the crystal over.
You would have to give the crystal in its entirety.
The question is, do they know what the whole crystal looks like, or if there's a piece missing, would they notice? The
Which
answer
is why I asked why they saw it
because
in
they've
first
never seen it in
person.
person,
They said
so
no.
realistically,
You just have to kill the archaeologist and it's fine.
yeah. Look, we're already thinking about this in as drow a way as possible, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
It's fine.
If you don't get caught, it will be fine. If you do get caught, the full force of a daimao may be used against you. But that's only a small chance.
Especially if we have a good portent. It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. I am okay with this. If you are, Yuna, I leave it at your discretion.
Now, there is a little notey note.
Gesundheit, Voss.
There's so many flowers out here. In Rakath being potentially guildmaster when this guild's created, he would be a completely free man. Just a note. That would be basically in wording in here.
And Rakath would actually look to Yuna and say, Yuna, because this is a topic that I know you need full disclosure on, please detect my thoughts so you can know exactly what I mean.
Want to.
Gotta find it.
So, first of all, on the surface, he's going to be saying that no matter what, I'm not leaving House de Vescos, and you and I will be friends for eternity if I can help it. And then he's going to say out loud, dig deeper.
What if you decide to go back to your Formian family?
Dig deeper.
Fine.
In his deepest thoughts, he is thrilled to be friends with you and would never leave. And he will be family to House de Vescos no matter what, and he will not be leaving your side as long as he can. If he dies, he hopes that at the very least his memory will be with you forever.
Kath, you're not allowed to die. You've
I
been over
know.
this so many
I know.
times.
I do.
Well, Ferris would actually say at that point, some would say becoming a guildmaster is akin to death due to the work
I have heard that.
and such.
There's a lot of paperwork. By the way, if at all possible, could we add in a slight addendum to this contract that you teach me how to do that quick reading spell that you cast?
Not everyone is able to cast spells. I will see if the Palace Arcanum can spare you a tutor.
That would be very helpful. Thank you. I don't expect to be able to yet, but I'm currently delving into the studies of magic slowly. I'm a slow learner with that, but if it would be possible, I imagine it would make my duties as a guildmaster much simpler. Or at least less tedious.
I'll sign the paperwork, but I'm also gonna look to Voss. I'm gonna be like, it's up to you.
No, Rofi, it's up to you!
Well, Murphy's not getting anything out of this anyway.
That doesn't happen. We could easily fulfill this contract. I see no problem with this. And if it gives us even a brief glimpse into what the future may hold, it is worth doing. Also, if it will help Rakath and his guild, I suppose that is a decent byproduct as well.
After both Rakath and Yuna have signed, she will take the contract away and she will say, "The future is bright. Walk with your heads held high and do make haste." She will kind of roll up the contract and hand it to one of the samurai. Put it in a tube.
Well, Rakath is going to hand her his last bottle of Pyromancer's Delight and say,
A gift for our dealings.
Well,
If you don't like it, feel free to throw it into that koi pond over on whatever street that's on where they make the fish. But I quite enjoy it, and I hope you do as well. Thank you for your time. Also, you can light it on fire.
I'm going to walk away.
just kind of motions.
Okay.
And that's a great place to take a little break of brew.
Break.
We'll be back
Break,
in a
break.
sec.